One rising line upstream can change tomorrow's river, even when today's water looks calm. I am preparing to paddle a loaded canoe down a 1,900-mile commercial river road, bringing my 70-pound dog, Enzo, along with me. I am not an expert. I am learning in public to ensure we actually survive this trip. It is incredibly tempting to open a river app, look at a single green number, and assume the water is safe to paddle. But a number on a screen is meaningless if you do not understand the durable physical principles of how that water moves. Treating a river gauge like a simple daily weather forecast creates a false sense of security. If we assume a calm surface today guarantees safe paddling tomorrow, we put both of our lives at immediate risk. To understand why, we have to look at what a gauge actually measures. This interface on the USGS water data site shows a single local reading of 12 feet. That measurement is called stage. Stage is strictly a local elevation reference. It does not measure how fast the water is moving, and it is not a universal safety score. Look at how that same 12-foot measurement behaves in different geographies. In a narrow, steep gorge, 12 feet of water is heavily compressed, fast, and turbulent. But put that exact same 12 feet into a wide, shallow floodplain, and the water spreads out, losing velocity and moving sluggishly. For Enzo and me, that geographic variation dictates whether we can safely launch. I have to hold the canoe completely stable so a 70-pound dog can safely board and settle. If I expect the slow current of a floodplain but encounter the violent turbulence of a gorge, I lose control of the boat. A 12-foot stage on your familiar home river means something entirely different than a 12-foot stage 3 states away. Assuming a number is universally safe will get you into serious trouble. This map from the NOAA Water Prediction Service shows why a single local reading is never enough. A local gauge is a static snapshot of what is happening right now. To navigate safely, you have to look upstream and map the data points over time. Water takes time to travel. A sudden spike in volume from a thunderstorm hundreds of miles north will not reach you immediately. By tracking the trend across multiple gauges, you can see exactly when that wall of water will arrive at your location 24 hours from now. Pause this video for a moment and answer this question aloud. Why can 2 gauges on the exact same river tell completely different operational stories? 2 gauges tell different stories because water changes shape and speed as it moves through the basin. Anticipating that movement is the difference between proactively planning an expedition and simply reacting to a crisis. But digital tools have strict limits. Official charts and gauges provide evidence, not certainty. They are lagging indicators that cannot guarantee your safety. A gauge reading will tell you the water is low, but it completely fails to warn you about heavy floating trunks coming around the bend, a stiff opposing headwind, or an eroded submerged rock wall waiting just below the surface. Because of these live physical hazards, you can only establish your personal go-no-go thresholds by combining authoritative guidance with direct local experience. If you outsource your situational awareness entirely to a screen, you stop reading the actual water. When conditions inevitably degrade, you will lack the human judgment required to get off the river safely. To turn these concepts into a daily habit that protects Enzo, I have to pass today's practical test, building a 10-gauge watch list. The log requires 4 columns: current stage, 24-hour trend, forecast, and most importantly, the question this gauge answers. Just logging raw numbers is useless. By forcing myself to define the exact question, like, will the water hit the tree line by Tuesday, I translate raw data into a clear operational boundary for our route. This leaves us with 3 durable rules for evaluating water data. Stage is local, trends connect the basin, and a gauge informs, not replaces, judgment. You can find the raw data at the official NOAA and USGS links shown here. This is what I learned and tested today, not a substitute for current local guidance. Experienced river people, what would you add or correct before I launch?